On Monday, the 76th United Nations General Assembly convened its first committee general debate. Now, this committee primarily deals with disarmament. Representatives from each country make their remarks. They try to seek out solutions for global security threats. But one country always comes with grievances, complaints that float in the realm of fiction. Which country is this? Well, there could be only one. Pakistan. Throughout Monday's proceedings, Pakistan tried to push the same old propaganda on Kashmir. It accused India of oppressing Kashmiris. It accused India of unleashing brutalities on minorities, even facilitating terror against Pakistan. The Pakistani ambassador to the United Nations, Mr. Munir Akram, lied to his heart's content. He rattled off the same old list of concoctions that Pakistan pushes year after year. And like always, India did not hold back. It exercised the right to reply. A. Amarnath, a counselor at India's permanent mission to the UN, launched an unsparing attack against Pakistan. He started off by telling the committee that with Pakistan's track record of hosting, aiding and abetting terrorists, it cannot be expected to play any constructive role at the United Nations.
Given its established state practice of hosting, aiding and actively supporting terrorists, how could one expect any constructive contribution from Pakistan to this committee that deals with important matters of international peace and security? Pakistan's baseless accusations are indeed rich, coming from a nation that is encouraging sectarian violence against Muslims and suppresses the rights of minorities. We expect nothing new from this delegation that harbors a deep sense of insecurity and orchestrated hatred for India and our secular credentials and the values that my country stands for.
It's true. A theocratic terrorist state has no right to question the secular credentials of the world's largest democracy. Pakistan always speaks as if it's beyond reproach, as if the world really doesn't know about its support of terrorists. The Indian representative reminded the committee of a few instances.
As a responsible state, India strictly abides by its obligations under international treaties and needs no advice from a country which has a proven track record of illicit export of nuclear material and technology. India's security concerns are not confined to a region, and therefore India has always approached these issues in a global context. Mr. Chairperson, as the epicenter of global terrorism, Pakistan is the biggest destabilizing force in the world and has repeatedly indulged in cross-border terrorism against its neighbors. They have no regard for UN principles. While Pakistan's permanent representative speaks about peace and security here, his Prime Minister glorifies global terrorists like Osama bin Laden as martyrs. What more could be a better proof of the utter duplicity that this country is infamous for?
If not India, then perhaps the United Nations should listen to its own experts like Anne Heckendorf, a research analyst at the European Foundation for South Asian Studies. She was invited to address the United Nations Human Rights Session on Tuesday, and she spoke at length on how madrasas in Pakistan still operate as a breeding ground for terrorists. You must listen to what she said.
In South Asia, current trends in education, if ignored, will deprive millions of their right to development and potentially breed another generation of religious extremists. It is well known that the menace of terrorism in South Asia has largely grown out of religious schools, the so-called madrasas. These schools that oftentimes instill a distorted, ultra-conservative interpretation of Islam still flourish uninhibitedly in Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Taliban and the dreaded Haqqani network were born from such madrasas in Pakistan. Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and other terrorist organizations continue operating such terror factories in Pakistan under the protection of the country's powerful intelligence agency.
And we are not done with Pakistan yet. Remember Abdul Razak, the former Pakistani cricketer who was infamous for dropping catches? Well, he's a retired man now, but he's trying too hard to stay relevant. Take his recent remarks, for example. Abdul Razak has said that India cannot compete with Pakistan, and that is why India doesn't want to play with Pakistan. What do you make of this? Well, we almost agree with him. Not just India, every country in the world is scared of playing with Pakistan, not because they fear Pakistan's skills, but because they fear for their lives. You see, they want to stay alive after the match is over. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.